Hey guys, so this is my first video, so welcome to my channel, welcome to my first video, and today I thought we'd do a tier list, because, tier lists are nice, so we're going to be ranking FNaF characters based on their visual appearance. Now this is going to have huge spoilers for FNaF. It's going to cover the entire series, and although I do not believe that this tier list covers all animatronics, it does cover a vast majority of them. So, you know, just a little warning, if you find FNaF disturbing, then, this probably wouldn't be a good video to watch. But if you don't, if you're not bothered by FNaF, then let's continue. But again, huge spoiler warning. And this is going to center around the main FNaF games, not FNaF World, other than Blue Endo for some reason, and I guess technically Dee Dee, but let's get started. So first we're starting with a very strong one, I'd say. Freddy is, probably the face of the whole just game series in general, at least one of them, and I gotta say he's a pretty good character to be the face of the series. So I'm gonna say A tier because his design is simple but it's good. He has a nice color scheme, although it is pretty much just like two colors, but I think Freddy's a really well-designed animatronic. It's a nice design, and I think it's also really good for horror because something just kind of feels off, but in a good way, if that makes sense. Like, a humanoid bear walking down the hallway, coming to jump scare you. You gotta love it. Or hate it if you don't like horror, but you gotta love it. Next we're on to Bonnie, which is also a very good design. A lot of the earlier designs are good. And I'm going to try and make sure that I don't have bias against or for any characters' designs based on when they were made. Obviously, something like Security Breach is going to have higher definition designs than the old ones, but I'm going to try and make sure that I'm fair and that they all have an even playing field. So yeah, we have Bonnie, who is also pretty well designed. Not my favorite in FNaF 1, but pretty solid. I'm gonna say B tier because you gotta love Bonnie. He's simple but effective, just like Freddy. That's a lot of FNaF 1, in my opinion. Just good, but not overcomplicated, and just does it well. Chica is definitely, in my opinion, my least favorite design from FNaF 1, and I'm going to have to say that Chica goes in C tier. Not a bad design. All of these designs are really good. Just in comparison to each other, some are a little lacking. And Chica's pretty good design, but I don't like the head shape very much. Like, circular is definitely a little bit off to me. I really like how Freddy and Bonnie have, the protruding part on the, about the middle of their head. I think that's really good, and I think it works with the kind of humanoid, but not really kind of design. Next we have Foxy, who's personally my favorite design. I'm just going to throw Foxy in S tier. I don't know what to say exactly. Foxy has a really cool and interesting design, especially with the hook and the eye patch. Does really good going for that whole pirate theme, especially with the golden teeth, and I think that was a really good design. I think it does really good with horror too, just because he's kind of intimidating, if that makes sense, especially being a pirate kind of shows power and stuff like that. And I think it was really well done. Golden Freddy's interesting because on one hand, Golden Freddy definitely only works as an Easter egg, at least for FNaF 1. But I think Golden Freddy really does fill that role in pretty well. So I'm also going to say A tier. I think the original design isn't as good as like the Wither design. At risk of spoiling some of my rankings, I think Withered is done better, but I think Golden Freddy's still pretty good. I'm gonna put Golden Freddy down to B tier. But still a good design. Moving on to FNaF 2. I'm going to be frank with you. I think the style choice on the toy animatronics is not a bad choice, but I personally, I don't like it very much. I don't think it does too well for the horror aspect of it, but in contrast to Withered animatronics, it does complement them really well. Again, all these designs are really good, but some I don't think are quite as good as others. So sadly, for a lot of the toy animatronics, they're going to be going lower. But starting with Toy Freddy, we're going to say B tier. Toy Freddy is definitely one of the best of like the main 3 toy animatronics. Actually no, Toy Freddy is, at least in my opinion, because this is all based on my opinion, the best of the 3 main cast, because I don't consider Mangle part of the 3 main cast. And I think it definitely does well with trying to make Freddy seem friendly for with children, and I think Toy Freddy's quite alright. Not as good as original Freddy, but still good. Similar with Toy Bonnie, actually. I don't like the more pear-shaped face design as much. I don't think it's bad, but I do prefer the original kind of thing, other than Chica, obviously. But I think the pear was a little bit weird, like the pear shape, but still pretty good. Toy Bonnie carries over a lot of aspects of Norm Bonnie pretty well, I would say. Definitely is really good at trying to set the idea of these are for entertaining children and making them feel comfortable and just having fun. It's for the children to enjoy the show, without them maybe being scared or anything. And I think all of the toy animatronics actually do that pretty well. Maybe other than Marionette. Toy Chica. Toy Chica is interesting because she's one of the few animatronics that has, at least early on, that has like multiple different looks. Considering that the beakless design is a thing, I'm actually going to put Toy Chica in B tier. Because I think the original design is alright, probably about as good as Chica's, so I'd say C tier. But the beakless design is really good. In my opinion, it does really well the horror, especially with setting you up with a more friendly interface and then switching it on you like that. That's really good. So beakless I'd say is A tier, but just gonna go with the average, say B tier. Next we have Mangle, who I think is probably the best of the toy animatronics. Maybe other than Puppet. Mangle's great. A tier. I don't know what to say. Trying to go with setting horror and scaring you, maybe making you feel a little bit off with all the different limbs and the fact that, well, it's practically just an endoskeleton with a couple of plates remaining on it. And then also with the second head, pretty good. especially with hanging from the ceiling and stuff, I think worked really well. Although I suppose that's more mechanical, but I'll still count it. I'm just going to, okay, well, no, Balloon Boy is D tier. Balloon Boy's design is like a snowman, and I do like the sign and everything, but Balloon Boy's just derpy and really annoying. But just being on visual, Balloon Boy is kind of weird. I don't think all the colors really work too well. And while we're talking about this, let's just kind of go with DD as well in F tier, because DD is just Balloon Boy, but with, I'm sorry, a worse color palette. But, you know, again, all the designs are really good. Just those ones aren't as good. Puppet. Puppet is so iconic, and just, it's a simple design that's scary. And I feel like a lot of, like, the really good designs are really in that kind of category, where they're not overcomplicated, but they're also not super simple. They are kind of in between, where everything they have adds on to the character well. And I think Marionette fills that role perfectly, and is one of my favorite designs in the entire series. I will say I'm not going to rank animatronics within a single tier against themselves. Say I'm not going to put Toy Freddy in front of Golden Freddy because I like Toy Freddy more, which I don't, but if I did, I wouldn't do that, just because there's a lot of animatronics. Well, not that many, but there's enough that I don't want to worry about, oh, is this one slightly better than the other? We're just kind of basing them off of between tiers, you know. But let's continue on. Withered Freddy is pretty good. I think about as good as normal Freddy. I think the design they went with is a little bit better for horror than normal Freddy. But I do like normal Freddy a little bit more in general. So, just gonna say A tier. They're both really good. I don't have a lot to say on Withered Freddy. Just well designed, carries over Freddy's features really well. And yeah, that's it. Withered Bonnie is S tier. It's a nice design that has a good idea and really good execution, taking away one of Bonnie's arms, and the faceplate, that's good. That is a good design. Props to whoever thought of doing that for Bonnie. Probably Scott Cawthon, but I don't know. Withered Chica is actually a really good Withered design, in my opinion. It's one of the few Chicas I'm gonna rank really high. I don't like Chica, but just with the, like, double mouth, the, like, forearms taken off, but not the other part of the arm. I don't know what it's called. Really nice, and definitely lends itself to being really good with horror, especially with just the gaping jaw and teeth, even though there's a beak, which I never realized. Why are there teeth in a beak? Whatever. Works really well with horror. And yeah. Next we have Withered Foxy. In my opinion, not as good as normal Foxy, mostly because of the snout, I guess. It has like a flat part that goes out from the main part. I think it's good, but I'm gonna say B tier. A lot of these are ranking high. I'm probably gonna have to edit this in a minute. Yeah. Withered Golden Freddy is just S tier. It's really good. It, it, I don't even know what to say about half of these. Wither Golden Freddy is nice. Great rendition of normal Golden Freddy. I like how the skin's a bit more worn down. The wires are coming out of the just random places in the body. It's great. I don't even know how to spell out the actual name, so I'm just gonna say Shadow Bonnie. We're saying design. Probably D tier. It's interesting. I like Shadow Bonnie, but it's really not that high of... It's not very high effort design, you know? It's like literally just taking Toy Bonnie, making everything pitch black except for 2 little white dots and some teeth. And rearranging the teeth, sure, but, you know, it's definitely not the best. But I still like it, you know? I think it works well with horror, but, you know. Shadow Freddy, S tier. I love Shadow Freddy. Purple, you know, glowing eyes and teeth. It's like Golden Freddy, especially with how, you know, they both kind of sit down and stuff. Except, maybe better. Like, I could honestly consider moving Withered Golden Freddy down a tier, just to be fair to Shadow Freddy, in my opinion, being a lot better, but they're both really good, so I'm not going to move Withered Golden Freddy yet, but I might soon. And I am going to move Toy Chica down. Withered Foxy can stay for now. Alright, Paper Pals, C tier. They're alright. They're pretty simple. They're nice and silly. I really like the crying one, the other two. Especially this one's a little bit weird. Freddy's alright. I don't know who these two are. But Freddy's good. I assume this like Crying Child or something is good. And not even gonna try to guess. So let's move on to FNaF 3. Starting off really strong with Springtrap, saying S tier. Springtrap, just everything about Springtrap is really, really good. He has the, like, I don't know whether to say rusted or decayed Spring Bonnie outfit or like costume. It's like green of age. It's torn apart in places it's not torn apart. It's withered a little bit. You can see, you know, like his corpse inside. You can see his mouth. You can see, well, I mean, those are his eyes. I think those are like shells of the eyes, of the animatronic eyes, in front of his eyes. You know, just everything about Springtrap is amazing. Might honestly be up there in my favorite designs in the whole series, if not my favorite. I think it's amazing. So, yeah, let's move on. Phantoms, I think, look nice, but some not gonna do so well. You know, Phantom BB is okay, but, just not my favorite. I'm gonna move him down a little bit. It's alright, but not the best. Phantom Freddy's pretty good. I'm gonna say A tier. Works with, I think, Withered Freddy more than normal Freddy really well. The eyes of the Phantom animatronics are really good. And yeah, I like the whole, like, a little bit more withered than Withered Freddy, it seems like, kind of design. I think it works well. Phantom, yeah, I don't know if I've been saying Withered instead of Phantom, because I just compared these two. But Phantom Mangle, not as good as normal Mangle. Still pretty good. I think the green's a little bit too contrasting here. But not bad. Pretty good. Withered Foxy's great. Not quite up there with normal Foxy, but still good. I like the torn part of this head. You know, I didn't mention that with Withered Foxy. That's really good. Big chunk of what's saving him from going down to C tier. Yeah, I like the teeth. I like the second jaw, I guess. Second mouth. We have Phantom Chica. Phantom Chica on the TV screen would honestly... Well, not on the TV screen. It's usually a screen, I'm pretty sure. Like on the arcade machine screen or whatever in FNaF 3. Honestly, S tier. But this is not that. But I'll give a little boost into B tier. Probably would be C tier otherwise. Because it looks like a watermelon. F tier. Phantom Marionette. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just bad. I'm sorry, but I don't like it. Of course, it's not a bad design. It's bad compared to the others. But it's probably the worst out of all of them. Maybe not. We'll have to see with some of the other designs. So, let's move on to FNaF 4, where we have Nightmare Freddy. Now, some of these animatronics will get really good rankings, some of them won't. I think FNaF 4 is definitely one of the most varying ones, but they're all pretty good. Well, FNaF 2 might be, because you have F tier and S tier, but whatever. Starting off with Nightmare Freddy, really good, nice design. I think they did the whole broken apart design really well, like torn and shredded. It's great. Bonnie might be one of the weaker ones. I'm gonna say C tier. Well, yeah, probably C tier. Don't get me wrong, I do like Nightmares. I'm gonna say B tier, actually. Nightmare Bonnie's pretty good. We got Nightmare Chica. A tier. Nightmare Chica's amazing. With the, one glowing eye, the tons of teeth, the Nightmare Cupcake, everything. It's great. All really good. Next we have Nightmare Foxy. Nightmare Foxy is interesting because there are some things I really like about Nightmare Foxy, like the broken snout and stuff like that. Lots of teeth, obviously, more jaw sets. I don't like the tongue. I don't think that fits Foxy really well, but I'll say B tier. So really good. I could say A tier. If not for the tongue, I'd say A or S, but because of B tier. I hate to say it though. Nightmare Fredbear is great. Nightmare... I'm going to cover kind of both of these simultaneously. Nightmare's also good. You know, if you asked me like a week ago, I would have said I don't like Nightmare as much. But I'm trying to not be biased because Nightmare is kind of a reskin of Nightmare Fredbear. Kinda. But they have really good head designs. The glowing eyes are great, ears are good, hats are great. You know, obviously Nightmare Fredbear is based off of Fredbear, and Nightmare is based on Nightmare Fredbear. The main thing that's saving them, because I would say A to B tier, if not for the fact that they had jaws and teeth in their stomachs, because I think that's great. That boosts them up to S tier really quickly. Nightmare is pretty cool because it's see-through, but you know, really similar to Nightmare Fredbear. It's not bad, but it's noticeable to the point where it's obvious. Plush Trap's alright. Probably one of my least favorite nightmares. If we're saying also going with the style, it's not a nightmare animatronic. It's a withered one. In fact, it's less nightmare-esque than Springtrap is, you know? Like, if there was a Nightmare Spring Bonnie, I wouldn't think it's Plush Trap, I would think it's Springtrap. Next we have, Jacko Bonnie. I almost forgot his name. We got Jacko Bonnie, S tier. Jacko Chica's also S tier. Jacko animatronics are amazing. They have great, just glowing fire designs. I love it. S tier immediately. Don't have many lower tier things. Well, seeing how Balloon Boy's in D tier, and I'll put that in D tier. This is just not a good picture of Nightmare. Well, that's a jump scare, so I'll say C tier. I just want to make sure it's not super biased because I do like a lot of these designs. On a Nightmare. What's that? Phantom Mangle. Nightmare Mangle. S tier. No. B tier. My opinion, I think it's a pretty decent Nightmare design, especially making the Endo be Nightmare Freddy? No, a Freddle. A Freddle's Endo. I think that's a really nice little, not Easter egg, but like a nice little nod to the player, like, yeah, we're making sure that we put some good detail in this. I don't like the split across the face very much. I think it could work really well if it just weren't on the non-eye having eye socket. You know, if it wasn't on the MD eye socket, I think it'd work better on this one. B tier, pretty good. Maybe a little bit overdone with Nightmare styling, but still good. Especially with multiple jaws. I like the multiple jaw designs. Nightmarian's S tier. A tier. I hate to say it, but like Nightmarian's a really good Nightmare version of Marionette. Transfers really well over. My only my only two problems are, one, I think the teeth don't work with Marionette very well. I don't know what it'd look like without teeth, so to be fair, it could be better with teeth. But I think if it does have teeth, it should go all in on it rather than having tiny teeth. You know, it should have sharp, dangerous teeth like Nightmare Chica's, you know? Pretty much just like that. Although not the exact same. And I think the mask is too clean. Like, all of the other Nightmare animatronics are shredded and torn. They have missing pieces. You know, like Bonnie's whiskers are like kind of jagged, if that makes sense. They're not well groomed, I guess, for lack of a better word. You know, they're loose and it's meant to be unkempt, you know, and it works really well. But they didn't do that with Nightmarian, sadly. It's still a great design, but if they just made the mask even have like one spot, you know, like in like what is it, Help Wanted, they had all the tentacles and whatnot. Well, maybe do something similar with the mask, you know, or, you know, you don't have to, but like if it had like a little cut and you could see like a little, like faintly you could see like wrapped up tentacles or something, you know, something like that. Or give it a third eye, maybe try and show that there's a soul in there, you know. You can faintly see little human-esque eyes similar to Springtrap's, you know. Not like PNGs of human eyes, just something that looks more human than white dots. I think that would be amazing. Finally, we have Nightmare BB. now. Uh, in the past, I would have said A tier, maybe S tier even. But it has come to my attention with some input that, with outside input, that the mouth on Nightmare BB is awful. I'm sorry, but D tier. D tier. Like, the mouth on Nightmare BB, it goes out too much in the top part. If it just didn't have that little extra bit that went out, A tier, S tier. And I mean that. That little difference, no. I think it could be better with some shredding too. But honestly, that's my main problem. The claws are great. The eyes are amazing. The mouth is amazing other than that. And that ruins it. That one little straw, that broke the camel's back. That is saying that the camel's back was incredibly fragile, because that's really the only bad thing about the design. I mean, again, I like more shredding, but it's still good, you know. I think with Nightmare you need to fit better, because this is the entirety of anything that's not, like, charcoal-y. Like, original Marionette is less clean than Nightmare. And I'm sorry, but that's a problem. Again, it's a great design, but if they just had a little bit more shredding on Nightmare, it'd be great. They had a little bit more shredding on Nightmare Balloon Boy, sorry. It wouldn't make too much of a big difference. They changed the mouth. Amazing. Now, let's move on to two, technically, because I think this is pulled from Ultimate Custom Night, but, you know, sister locations in front of it, so, you know, we're saying FNaF World section, 2 animatronics. Blue Endo, pretty nice. I don't know what to say, because it's a lot more simple. Pretty good, though. I like it. I like the other endos a little bit more, probably, but still good. Dee's the better balloon boy. Yeah, I don't think they're Shadow Dee Dee. That's too bad. Shadow Dee Dee would be like S tier, but yeah. Let's just continue on, because I can't say much on them. Sister location time, with starting really good with Lolbit. Tail on Lolbit's great. The, miss an eye, good. Color palette, amazing. On the TV screen, S tier. I don't think you actually go up against Lolbit in such a location. But let's say Help Wanted, where you can do the Nightmare, or the hard mode version, I guess, of the level. Nice. Circus Baby. I'm sorry. Circus Baby's great, but there are too many faceplates that don't even make sense to have, really. You know, like the mouth, good. The forehead, good. Eyebrows, what? In between the eye, like the nose bridge? What do you... Too many faceplates. Great design otherwise. Just reduce the faceplates a little bit. Make it a little bit more like the other ones, and I think it fits the style better at that point, and it'd be amazing. Ballora's also pretty good. I'm gonna say B tier. I didn't mention the mouth on Circus Baby is great though. But each faceplate that Ballora has makes sense. The eye mechanic is really good. Also, purple eyes, pretty nice. Works good with Ballora's color palette. And yeah, I think Ballora's pretty good. But not as good as Funtime Freddy, who's A tier. I think Funtime Freddy is one of my favorite Funtime animatronics. You know what? S tier. Or finally getting a second row in S tier, first double road tier, and now scrolling is going to be a little bit difficult. But at the end of the video, I will do my best to put it all into one frame. I'll zoom out a bit if needed, but, you know, we'll just have to see how it goes. You know, we've only got a few games left, so maybe it won't be too small for, you know, just, like, say mobile users may have some difficulty, but we'll see. Funtime Foxy, A tier. Pretty good. Not as good as Lobbit, but still really good. Faceplates are great. Oh, wow. S tier. Because Lobbit, I don't know how to describe it. Lobbit has, you know what? It's the eyebrows. Lobbit doesn't have eyebrows, so the design seems a lot more sleek. I like Funtime Foxy with the less sleek, but, well, I don't know if sleek's the right word. The less clean, but still pretty clean design. I think that's great. Lobbit might go a little bit overboard with it, but still S tier. Oh, Yendo. Forgot about Yendo. Yendo's really interesting. I'm gonna say A tier. Yendo's good. I like Yendo. Not as good as Funtime Freddy. Still pretty good. Although you don't get to see Yendo very much. Still good. Oh, Biddy Bab. Okay. I don't like Biddy Bab very much. I think the two faceplate thing is cool. The simplistic endo design is pretty nice. Like under the faceplate. But I'm gonna have to say C tier. Yeah. And Biddy Bab and Circus Baby are in the same tier. I think that's fitting. Electro Bab can go in B tier though. Glowing eyes are nice. Does the character really well. Biddy Bab looks like it's made out of clay. I don't like that. Eyes are a little bit too small. Too. Just D tier. F tier. I don't know. C tier to, like, I think the eye thing and the eyes are a little bit bigger would be better. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say F tier. Electro Bab's alright though. Mini Arenas are A tier. I like the nice little dancing design. It's kinda based on Marionette, but a little bit more simple. Still pretty good though. Ennard? S tier. Probably, yeah, I'm sorry, Circus Baby, but, I just completely forgot his name for a second. Ennard is, like, the face of, Sister Location. Just amazing. And also that he takes the mask up from the wall in the, I guess, like, in-between room, if that makes sense. And how it's gone whenever Ennard's, like, taking control and stuff. Really nice. Bon Bon. Nice B tier. Bon Bon's great. Nah, A tier. Bon Bon's great. I think Bon Bon's, like, the better toy Bonnie. I know the Bon Bon's Funtime, but let's be honest here. Funtime is, like, a more advanced version of toy. In my opinion, take a lot of similar styles, most of my faceplate. Bon Bon doesn't, but that's okay. Yeah. I think Bon Bon's great. Bonnet. Also pretty good. I don't like Bonnet as much. But I'm not gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna say B tier. I think Bon Bon's a little bit better. I don't know how to describe it. I just feel like Bonnet is kind of thrown in just to be another version of Bon Bon. And as much as I don't want to be rude to, like, reskins, this feels like, this kind of feels like it was just a reskin to be a reskin. But let's move on to Pizzeria Simulator. Sorry. Which A lot of these are going in S tier, a lot of them are going in F tier, a lot of them are gonna be in C tier too. Not many in betweens. But maybe maybe that'll change. Scrap Baby, S tier. Molten Freddy, S tier. Let's just start with these two. Okay. Scrap Baby's amazing. I actually think that the hair is kind of done better than original Circus Baby. Well, that's hard to say. Because original Circus Baby's hair is probably better for an animatronic design, but I like Scrap Baby's more. So, yeah. The eyes are really good, claws good, withered kind of thing is really good. Mouth is a good version, you know? I like it. I think Scrap Baby's good. Molten Freddy is my favorite design in the entire series. I don't know what to say. Trying to go off of the faceplate, but then making it shattered, that is such a good idea. Whoever thought about that in, like, the idea room or whatever of the FNaF, of, like, creating FNaF, you did a good job. And again, it was probably Scott Cawthon, but, yeah. The one eye, also, like, orange and, like, pretty much old people, great. Broken up faceplate, great. Being a bunch of wires, practically just being a, like, messed up endoskeleton, but kind of going with the design of being more, I say, yeah, wire, maybe tube based, kind of design, similar to Yendo. Dude, that's amazing. Teeth, maybe a little bit lacking, but other than that, Molten Freddy might just, my opinion, is the best design in the whole game. At F tier, why? Just why? Why is his cranium so big? Why did you make Springtrap different? If you're going to make versions of Springtrap, make it so that it's just him getting more deteriorated and rotten and broken, rather than making him all those things in different ways. Because it took away most of his original design, and it was just like, let's just break his skull. You know, his animatronic skin just on the top of the head. I'm sorry, he's like a goofy version of, well, I don't mean goofy as in, like, the character. I mean, he's like goofy as in an adjective version of Springtrap. And, yeah, honestly, it was kind of a disappointment to see. Lefty, however, is S tier. It's like Freddy, but better. Which is great. I think the Freddy designs in Pizzeria Simulator are amazing. I love it. I think it's really good. Yeah, that's all I really like to say. Missing Eye, great. 1 star, great. You know, being like part of the, man, I don't remember what they're called. The Rocks? No. Not Rockstar. Well, no, yeah, Rockstar. The Rockstar animatronics. Not these guys, these ones. Yeah, that's great. And next we have the Trash Gang, which seems to be separated from each other. But we got these 5 dudes, and they're all gonna pretty much go in the same tier. Like, they can be C tier. They're alright. Let's put that one there, that one there, one there. Except vacuum hand eyeball. The vacuum one, you can go in B tier. I don't know these guys' names. Actually, I think this one's Mr. Huggy, but whatever. Kinda has A tier. Nice design. Definitely one of the more complex ones that are really good, which I like it. I think it's well done. Interesting interface, you know, but I think it was a good choice. I like how the lights blink and, you know, pops out candy. and the storytelling. Although I never got to be told a story. Pretty sure it's just a low chance, but I don't know. I just never was told one. Then we have Helpy, who is probably A tier. Helpy's nice. No, little version of I'd say fun time Freddy. Yeah, definitely fun time Freddy. Pretty well done. I mean, hey, helps you with lawsuits. Can't complain, you know. Okay. I'm gonna go through these ones kind of quickly, but my opinion's fair. So I'll give a small reason to why I put them in whatever tier I put them in. Okay, the mouth is too wide. I get that it's going for a frog and whatnot, but it's just, you know, the eye sockets are too big. Don't like it. Mr. Hippo. Oh, also that's, I don't know, Sally the frog. I don't know its name. I don't know some of these names, but Mr. Hippo, A tier. Good. It's like Freddy, but purple. Not Shadow Freddy. Just similar like build as Freddy, although there's Fredbear. Good stories, good design. Nice. Porky the Pig, I think B tier. Alright, the mouth is a little bit weird, but it does come back in, so it's redeemable, unlike Nightmare BB. Pretty good. Netbear. B tier. I don't like it as much as normal Freddy. I almost said Fredbear. Maybe Netbear is more based off of Fredbear. Never realized that, but that makes sense. Yeah, really nice. I'll say B tier. Pretty good. Nothing wrong with it, I just don't like it quite as much. Orville the elephant is A tier. Nice design. The trunk was definitely, and the ears were definitely like risky moves to take, but I think they were executed well. So, yeah. Good design. Rockstar. I always mix out glam rock and rockstar. I mean, not specifically those two. Like, I can tell the difference between them. Just name-wise, I forget a lot. Or, like, I forget which is which, at least. I say Rockstar Freddy, pretty good. I think the Rockstars are good. They're, like, the better versions of toys, you know? I mean, I know I said that fun time, like, the more advanced version. And, yeah, they're better, but... but these are just the better ones, in my opinion. Okay, well, I say that, but Rockstar Bonnie is a little bit weird. I think the face is too tall. Like, it's okay, you know, it's okay, but it's just a bit too, like, especially with the nose, just a bit too tall. Rockstar Chica, I didn't think I would like the whole idea of having the wider beak and stuff, but the face widening puts Rockstar Chica in A tier. Good, nice, good design. I'm just gonna move on because, I mean, that's really all I have to say. Just nice, well designed. Rockstar Foxy, S tier. Similar enough to normal Foxy that I think it's great. The parrot is a good addition. It's like a cleaner version of Foxy, if that makes sense. You know? Like, if Withered Foxy had a more similar model to, or like a more similar base structure to Rockstar Foxy, I think that'd be really good. Alright. Music Man is S tier. Creepy, good, unique. Just everything about Music Man is great. I mean that. Like, everything. You know? I genuinely can't think of a complaint I have. about Music Man. Don't get me wrong, it's not like my favorite one, but I don't think anything about it is done poorly. So yeah, that's good. Let's move on, and L-Chip. Yeah, L-Chip. B tier. There we go. B tier. Pretty good. No complaints about L-Chip. Pretty good. Funtime. I don't even remember what Funtime Chica looks like, really. I'm gonna say A tier, because it looks good for a Funtime animatronic, based on this picture. That's really it. I think Funtime Chica is well designed. I'm just going to assume that this generally means Fredbear. Well, I guess that's the only time we really see Fredbear in, like, high definition. I'm gonna say S tier. It's like Freddy, but better. You know? Really good. I like the purple and yellow a little bit more than the brown and black. And I would say A tier, but just the significance of Fredbear, I think, bumps him up a little bit. Especially with Golden Freddy and Withered Golden Freddy and everything, and how he ties in to a lot of the games and stuff in little ways. I think that's great. I know I'm focusing on design completely, and I don't want to say that I'm making an exception, but I'm gonna bump him up a little bit because of that. Well, help wanted 2 animatronics. There's a few more, you know, like there's what's his name? What's the Jacko Foxy is there. I mean, that'd be S tier, but you know. Then you have like the I don't remember what they're called. They're like plush baby or something. The circus baby plushes. Probably A tier because they're nice. Maybe B tier. I don't know. Because you know I can't see them right now. It's been a while since I've seen them. But we'll just do what's here, and sadly skip those rankings or those possible rankings. Right now we have Glitchtrap 8 S tier actually. Glitchtrap's really good. Especially for like the 3D models. Great. That's great. It really takes Springtrap and definitely puts him in a different style in a really good way. And I gotta give credit for whoever designed this. You did a really good job. Moving on. What's his name? Oh, I don't remember his name. Franken Freddy? I don't know. The Halloween, I think DLC to Help Wanted. I'm gonna say A tier. It's really good. I say S tier, but I don't think so. Not quite. I think A tier fits him better. It's good, well designed. Really like it. And I just realized the teeth are like cubical rather than like squares. But honestly, fits it pretty well. I like it. Nice. Now we're on to the home stretch. The final game that we're ranking here today. And from what I can tell, the only missing animatronics they have are like other versions of the basic like bot ones, like the security bots. I think that's the map one. Yeah, I don't think they're missing anything else here, so let's do it. Home stretch. Most of them are pretty good. Let's start off pretty good here. I'd say A tier. Glamrock Freddy is great. A good rendition of normal Freddy in the new design. I like it. And yeah, that's it. I think it's a good design. I like the colors. I like the general structure, I guess would be the best word. And I think they did a good job. Chica's B tier. Definitely interesting, because on one hand, I don't like the circular head shape. I don't think it fits well for animatronics. And now that I'm noticing that more, C tier. I think the general color scheme and design is pretty good. Yeah, I think I also do have to consider with these the second forms, I guess. The beakless design is amazing. You know what? B tier. Beakless design's great. Roxy on their own is probably B tier, but the eyeless design is one of my favorite designs in the whole game, going up to A tier. It's just amazing. Oh. Next is Monty. I only laugh because just remembering his second form, I like to call him, in that form, the glorified bear trap. He's just a bear trap that moves around. But, it's good. It's not bad. Although it would have been nice if he had an ability, like, to jump or something, but... Well, maybe he does. I don't know. I don't remember Security Breach too well. I didn't play it myself, but... based on what I've seen, he just slows down a lot, and I don't think that's the best. But we're saying design-wise... As much as I hate to say it, because I would have preferred to see Foxy again, A tier. Monty. I forgot his name for a second. I like Monty. I like the design. But I'm really sad that Foxy had to go. I think it would have been nice if they just added Foxy on as like a fifth one. Monty could be a recurring character, or in the next hypothetical game, they can be like, oh, Monty didn't work. Children didn't like Monty as much, so had to scrap the idea, or something like that. I just wish Foxy was there. I'm still sad that Foxy wasn't there. Alright, so we're moving away from the main four. We're on to our final 8. I'm gonna move Vanny back, because Vanny I'm gonna actually do this. Yeah, these 3 deserve to be in their own category, I think, because they're, like, major story characters, Like, obviously you have Burn Trap, I think he's called. Who is just Springtrap. I mean, he's like kind of the backbone of the entire lore, because he started it. But, and then Blob is just this. If I'm correct, the souls of the children of all the animatronics kind of put together, all the consciousnesses, all the consciousness is, yeah, that's correct, I guess, put into one, and then Vanny is like the main antagonist of the game. So we have, I believe, Mapbot. I could be wrong. This might be different. This might be a different one of the bots. C tier. I don't like it. I don't like it very much. I think that it's okay, but it's just off. Only has eyes and blushing for some reason. A lot of the bots would go in C tier. Security ones might go in B tier, because it feels like they're trying to make this one human, but it's so... I don't know if dystopian's the right word. Uncanny could be better. It feels off. We have I think it's Sundrop and Moondrop. I could be wrong on one of them. I'm going to put them together in thought about it. Nah, they're not gonna be together. I like both of them a lot. But I think Moondrop should be an S tier. Sundrop's great. Definitely on the border of S tier, but not quite, I'd say. Moondrop, though. Nice S tier. Especially with the hat. It's nice, and it's just nice and silly, and it's just trying to have fun, you know? It's like bedtime. You know, put on my sleeping hat, I guess. I'm gonna put on my sleeping hat, and I'm going to go kill intruders, as Moondrop does. We got DJ DJ Music Man, S tier, easily one of my favorite designs ever, especially with the colorful mouth and everything, and he's great. He's like Music Man, but better. And you know what? Similarly, a Mini Music Man, I think they're called, also great. They're both S tier, they're both amazing. I love it. Just great designs. Anyway. We're on to the big story. Well, like we're on to the big three, you know? We're moving on to the Blob, Burn Trap. I'm pretty sure he's called Burn Trap, and Vanny. And, well, let's start with the Blob, you know. Yeah. It's interesting, because I like the Blob's design, but I think it definitely could be a little bit better with the whole, like, idea of being a blob. Because right now, it looks like, you know, because it has the wide base, and then it goes up, and then it kind of, like, shrivels into, well, shrivel's not a word, but it, like, thins out into a tiny neck for Funtime Freddy. And honestly, I think it could have been better if they had, like, a few different heads that were floating around, you know. And also, you just don't get to see it much. Like, I'm pretty sure you have one encounter with it, where you have to go into Glamrock Freddy to sneak past it, and then it also grabs Burn Trap, and that's it. I just wish that you could see it more. Like, it would have been great if, like, it was a factor in the, like, original FNaF, like, game-esque part, you know, with Burn Trap and everything. That would have been great. But sadly, no. Alright, we got Burn Trap. Okay, listen, I like Burn Trap's design, but don't make him deteriorate in different ways, make him deteriorate more, or if, depending on where it is in the storyline, less. But you're giving him different eyes, which doesn't make sense, because you'd humanize him, not animatronic ones. Sure, you could say you switched them out. That would be understandable, although unnecessary. He didn't have all those teeth. His mouth wasn't like that. I get that it's more realistic with teeth and whatnot, but it wasn't like that. He had the more front part of his skin there, and his teeth were more rotten, smaller, more deteriorated and ruined. You see it here? His teeth are tiny. He has like 7. And then he has all of them full, and they're not even like rotten. They're like yellow to white. I'm sorry, but no. It's a great design, but I think the texture is too slimy, and I think they shouldn't be making Springtrap deteriorate in multiple ways. is to take the base model and base what they do with new designs off of that. And I grabbed Vanny preemptively, but let's just rank Vanny A tier. Pretty good design. No complaints from me. I think it's good. It works well as an antagonist design. And yeah, I mean, Red Eye is good. Stitching, good, because it's similar to wherever Glitchtrap is. S tier, yeah. Wherever Glitchtrap is, it's kind of cotton. Oh, I don't know if I should say cotton, but like fabric-esque, you know? Like, Glitchtrap doesn't seem like a suit as much as it seems more like a one-piece outfit, which I think Vanny does even better, but of course Glitchtrap is like code or whatever, so that's completely fine. But Vanny's great. I'm not gonna say S tier, not because it has any problems with it, I just don't like it as much. I guess if I were to say one little issue, is that it doesn't feel as horrific. Well, I don't know if horrific's the right word, but more, it doesn't feel as much horror as a lot of the other ones do. I guess it's not necessarily supposed to, but still, you know, FNaF is a horror game, so yeah. Anyway, that brings the tier list to a wrap, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. Not quite. There we go. Nope. Alright, well, sorry guys that I have to zoom out that much. I don't think I can. Maybe I can make this. No, I can't change that on my own. But, there you go. That is the whole tier list. I might zoom in with editing if I can, just to, you know, just to make sure that it's a little bit more clear for you guys. But there you go. That is the tier list. I think everything's in a good spot because a lot of them have different styles. It's difficult to say if they're all exactly where I want them, but looking at it, I might move Nightmare Bonnie up, and I might move Porky down, and move Rockstar Bonnie down. Just gonna make a few changes here. Yeah, I think this is about right. Yeah, this is good. So, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I will try to post another video soon, but I don't know what my schedule is gonna be like. I don't know exactly when I will or won't be able to post another video. I'll try to make one soon. Might do another FNaF based tier list, but I'm willing to do some other things, just depending on what I feel like doing. And yeah, it could be gaming, it could be another tier list, it could be a little music thing. I like to experiment on Chrome Music Lab, so I might upload something like that, but just, you know, I'm starting out and figuring out what I want to do with this channel, but I hope that over time we can let this channel evolve and grow, and let the community evolve and grow. Well, get a community in the first place. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and almost forgot, I just want to say, you know, obviously FNaF is by Scott Cawthon, and then, you know, more recently with like Security Breach and Hellfun and Steel Wool Games and everything. And I will try and make sure I put some credit in the description for people who made this stuff. So, yeah. Alright. Thank you guys. And see you in the next video. Bye.